Anyway, guys, let's go. Let's jump into it. My first story, interesting story, folks. I ain't gonna hold you.
On deck with Tim Black.
It's Shannon Sharpe settlement. I know, fam. Who didn't see this coming? So Shannon Sharpe, we know what it was, man. The young lady had a relationship with, pictured in the video here, allegedly. You know, they still publicly haven't said if that was a woman or not. It still hasn't been publicly released. Okay? They call it Jane Doe on the, the court documents, right? So we really don't know officially. But they could tell based on her pictures posting, I think it was something on Instagram or something. Then they see she got her OnlyFans. You understand what I'm saying? So they put 1 and 2 together and came up with 3. So the lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe filed by a woman identified as Jane Doe back in April 2025 accused him of sexual assault, battery, and emotional distress. Oh no, Shannon Sharpe. Oh no, Shannon Sharpe. Why you treat me so bad? During a 2-year relationship that began in 2023, this young girl at the time, well, she was an adult, right? She was like 19, 18. That's nasty work, fam. I don't know, man. You know, man, to me it's nasty work, but I got ethics and shit. And limitations. Financial constraints. And the thing called a marriage. Check this out. The plaintiff, who was 19 when she met Sharpe at a Los Angeles gym, alleged that Sharpe raped her. I didn't mean to say the R word. Forgive me, YouTube. Said he did things multiple times in 2024 and 2025. Recorded those encounters without her consent and engaged in controlling and abusive behavior. She sought a $50 million payoff. $50 million in damages is what she sought. Sharpe denied the allegations, claimed the relationship was consensual and involved role playing. And his attorney, Lanny J. Davis, called the lawsuit a shakedown, releasing explicit text messages to support the claim of a consensual relationship. The lawsuit was settled July 18, 2025. They say the terms are undisclosed and the case was dismissed. I gotta say, fam, according to the rumor mill, if you gotta take it with a grain of salt, they say she settled for $15 million. That's a lot of dollars. That's a lot of money to pay somebody if you ain't doing anything. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't want to pay $1,500 if I ain't do nothing. I'm still mad at somebody now that I gave $1,500 for something and I feel like I got what I deserve, and I'm sure they mad too. We both mad, but they the one that got my money. So yeah, these things tick us off. Imagine losing a friendship or a working relationship over $1,500. I guess it was really needed at the time, but all I'm trying to say is I would have never gave that money if I wasn't expecting a service. Meaning I wouldn't have gave that money if I was, innocent. I wouldn't give $1,500. I wouldn't give $150,000. I wouldn't give you $1.5 million. And I damn sure, I double D, baby. They say never say never, 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 ever would I give somebody $15 million if I ain't do nothing. I don't even know if you could get it out of me if I did something. You're going to have to win that in court. Word on the street is, I don't know, they don't know how the brother came up with $15 million to give her. Once again, it's a alleged number. The number's alleged. But I don't know, man, but people got a reason to lie. Yes, Tim, they do. People lie all the time on the internet. It's bad. It's a bad look, fam. I don't know what it is, man. The woman's attorney, Tony Busby, stated that the both parties acknowledged a consensual and tumultuous relationship. Sharpe did not return to ESPN's First Take following the settlement, though he continued hosting his podcast, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. Yeah, you know, here's the thing, fam. Here goes the tweet so you can see it for yourself. This is a hell of a hit to take to your reputation, your brand, and your business all at the same time. Remember, doing this or before this happened, prior to this drama, he was looking at a $100 million deal on the table. And now he's just looking at an empty table. And he may be in debt. People say he may have had to liquidate assets. He may have had to borrow the money. He may have had to sell one of his shows. Who knows? Maybe one day in the future when it stings a lot less, maybe Shannon Sharpe will come clean and tell us the deal, man. Maybe he won't. But this is the trade-off, man. You want to get treated special? You want people to treat you like you are a superhero? You want to make the big money in the public eye? It's ways to make money without being in the public eye. But if you're in the public eye and you come in with a black eye, people are going to talk about it. You're in the public eye and you punch somebody in the eye, people are going to talk about it. You come in here with one eye, people are going to talk about it. You come in with one eye closed like I did. People are going to talk about it, whatever happens. It's just funny that I always see people try to come to the aid. When it's going good, it's great. When things are great, life is great. But when things ain't great, life ain't great. And that goes for everybody. We got problems within our own lives. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has situations. This is a very public situation. And once again, it's something that didn't have to happen. And yeah, I can be critical of it. But we all make mistakes, but Jesus Christ. Lord, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put your name in there. I didn't mean to do that. It's a bad habit. But I got to say, man, what a price to pay. What a learning experience. There's speculation on social media that the plaintiff was one Gabby Zuniga, an OnlyFans model based on circulating screenshots and posts. But yeah, we already said that, but we don't know. We already said that. Man, what say you, man? What say you? This looks like it's behind Shannon. But here's the thing, fam. Will it ever be behind him? Do you ever live this down? Sure, he could go and try to get those deals redone. He could go back to the table like, look, I've been cleared. I admit no wrongdoing. They drop all charges. They can't rebring them. There was they come to a settlement agreement. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sure if I'm sitting across from them and I want to do business with them, I might consider that. But you know what? It ain't gonna be $100 million now. I said it ain't gonna be $100 million because people are gonna be looking at you. People are gonna be looking at you all the time now. The only thing you can sell are them blue pills. Cialis and that other one. I don't even know the name of the other one. I forget. It's been a while. I mean, you know, the name of the pill. We got to do a better job, man. And don't say, Tim's like people like, Tim, what you mean we? I mean us men, we got to do a better job, man. It's a total waste of money. Do you realize I'm just tripping over that amount there, legend. Let's say it was 5. You know how many things you could do with $5 million that could help the black community? And here you're going to give it to this girl over here on OnlyFans for a few engagements of alone time? I mean, I ain't trying to knock her. I'm saying she cute. So, who cares about cute? It's sad, fam. I don't even care. I don't care if you're cute. But you know how it is, man. Hindsight is 2020. I'm sure if he had any idea what could happen, he wouldn't have done it. I'm a paranoid brother. All right? Me, I'm paranoid. Anybody out here like me, you get paranoid, I get paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking whatever I'm doing, I'm thinking, if this goes bad, how exposed am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking, what's the worst case scenario? Obviously, Shannon Sharpe don't have that problem. You may have money, but you're still a big black man dealing with a little white girl. That joy would have loved. I guess Shannon got off lucky. She'd have got that 50 mil, man. Yeah. She would have got that 50 mil. She would have got that 50 mil, fam. I'm trying to tell you. People would not have been able to get the image out of their heads. They would have been looking like, every time they looked at his big 6 foot, what is he, 6'4", 300, I don't know what he is, I don't know what he is, man. But every time they looked at him and looked at her and looked at him and looked at her and looked at him and like, they'd add another $1 million. Every day of the trial, they would just be add $1 million. He may have came out owing her $300 million. You think I'm wrong? You think I'm wrong? Man, this is America, baby. It's America, man. Racism will never die. Racism will never die in this country, man, unless we kill it. We ain't done that yet. Obama ain't doing nothing but give it a new battery in his back. Democrats don't do nothing but play the game. Republicans don't do nothing but deny the game, and it just continues on and festers like a wound that can't dry out. You know what I'm saying? Got to let that wound dry out, and we can't dry it out because too many of the Democrats and Republicans keep going to the till to get money out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So every time them white folks looked at this young white girl who's gonna come in there and pigtails. You know she's gonna come to court with pigtails, right? Wearing a business suit, pigtails, looking all normal and shit. That's how you come to court on something like this. Don't get mad, brothers is court 4 bodies are coming in a suit. We all, everybody play that game, but that's what she's gonna do, and it's gonna be very effective. Because a young black man in the suit is just a ninja in a suit, and we're talking about America, man. And this woman, when she comes in, if this was her, if she would have came to court, they wouldn't have been thinking trashy. They wouldn't have been thinking sex worker. They wouldn't have thought any of that. They wouldn't have thought role playing, consensual. They would have thought, that's my daughter I'm looking at, and that's that big gamboon up there climbing on top of her. Then they would have played a clip or two, a song or two, or whatever. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. Come on, Zabby. Come on, Zabby. Oh, come on now. Do it now. Who's your daddy, Zabby? They'd have just been, add another 0 to that shit. They just kept adding zeros. Next time y'all saw Shannon Sharpe after that case, next time y'all saw Shannon Sharpe, he'd be wearing a trash bag and some flip-flops. And he wouldn't be in that pretty studio either. He'd be sitting on a bench. Find him in a hotel with Andrew Gillum, trying to work it out. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to hear Andrew Gillum's name. That wasn't on the bingo card, was it? Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get that one. Yeah, I put that one in there. Yeah, man. All right, fam, let me know what you think in the comment section, man. I'm interested in hearing it. $15 million too much to pay to sell it? Did he come off light? Did he get off light? Or is this a devastating blow to Shannon Sharpe? Yeah, I've said enough about what I think about it. I'll just end it. For me, I'll just say, no man is above the program. You're never too big. You're never bigger than the program, Shannon. You know that. You've been on teams. You are never bigger than the program. And no matter how much money you get, you're still in the U.S. program. Kat tried to tell him. Monique tried to tell him. Donnell Rawlings kind of said it, kind of. So you know damn well he ain't going to listen to me. All right, let's keep it moving, fam. Before I go, I want to go in the comments, man. See my people saying, man. What's up, people? McCoy Perry says, craft beer for my homie. Thank you, McCoy Perry. I appreciate you, fam. Anna Jackson says, damn, what happened to Anna Jackson? What you say, Anna? You got off light. Yeah, he got off light. Yeah, he did. He got off light, fam. A man needs to think about where he puts his willie. Harry says, you damn Skippy, Tim. That's all I'm saying, fam. We all seen The Time to Kill. We all seen The Time to Kill, fam. You know what it is. How Matthew McConaughey do that joint? Who knows what I'm talking about? Matthew McConaughey, Sam Jackson. And the brother that's underrated, man. What's that brother that's underrated, man? I messed with him, man. He played like he was assisting Matthew McConaughey, man. Big guy, man. Guy was when, damn. He was in Digstown. Damn, I love this character actor, man. I forget his name, but I can see him. Big white guy, man. Funny, plays great roles. But I tell you this, that scene in The Time to Kill says it all about America, don't it? It's like, how are we gonna convince this jury that me, a black man, when I shot them boys that did that to my baby, that I was well within my rights as a man, as a dad? How can you convince them, Matthew? Whatever his name was, only you, that's why I hired you. Because can't nobody convince them like you can. They need a white man to come in there and make them understand. And what did Matthew McConaughey do? Matthew McConaughey's character, what'd he do? Close your eyes. You see her? Do you see her? Oh, God, can you imagine that? Now, I'm not saying Tony Busby has the skills of Matthew McConaughey. I'm sure he doesn't. But he does have a Netflix account. If you got a Netflix account, believe me, he saw that movie. And he will do his best impersonation. So he'd have been like, do you see her now? Do you see him now? Close your eyes. Do you see him now? Do you see him now? 300 million. They'd have been asking for they'd have been like, after that trial was over, after that lawyer finished doing that scene, using Shannon Sharpe as the picture of Shannon Sharpe, man, the jurors would have been like, can we vote for him to be shot by a firing squad? Can the firing squad spend some time with him? No, this is a civil case, ma'am. What? It's a civil case. I don't care. Firing squad, electric chair, lethal injection all at once. That's not even this is for money. I can't get that visual out of my head. People like, oh, Tim Black, y'all want to dance on the brother's grave, man, when the brother falls down. We fall down, we get up. We fall down, we get up. He gonna be all right, man. It's our broke ass we gotta worry about. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe, he's still rich. He gonna go out here and make money. He's obviously a grinder. He grinded the 2 shows, Nightcap and Club Shay Shay. He gonna keep on grinding, keep making money. It's you and I. We gotta be worried. You and I. It's that, you know, some of y'all got a work wife. Your wife got a work husband. Y'all need to worry about yourselves. That's what you need to worry about. To move back in with your mother at 48. That ain't cute. I'm just gonna be downstairs, Ma. All right, y'all. See, I'm trying to tell you, man. See, if I wanted to, I could do the Tasha K thing if I wanted to. I could do that if I wanted to. A whole lot more money in it, I can tell you that. This politics thing ain't got no money in it at all. Please, could you support it all? I got to deal with Roland's ass and this hater, that hater. I could come up here and talk relationships. Do Tasha K. I could do her show. Do it my way. Do a celebrity junk show like my brother O'Shea Duke Jackson. But I'm on the screen talking like this, so I destroy him at some point. I'm just kidding. He a legend. O'Shea a legend, man. Hey, how long you been in Africa talking like that? Doing sound effects and shit. I'm getting silly, man. Let's stop, Tim. Stop. Next story. Facts. We fall down, but we get up. Yeah, profit with yo. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna tell you again. I need to make profits. Give me the info, baby. I pay for it. Ain't nothing free. I ain't like some people. How much it costs? Is it a cost? Is it free? That's gonna be $20 a month. Oh. You thought I asked him, could I spend some time with his peoples? Jesus. $20 a month? The ebook is $20. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Thought I punched him in his solar plexus. $20. You mean you're charging? They get mad at me when they find out it's a cost. Oh, you should just give that away. Just give it away. I had to learn it. You know how much it cost to learn? It cost my time to do what I did. Or you ain't giving it away. You ain't a real brother. You not paying don't make you a real sister. How about we do it the other way? Yeah, that make more sense to me. See, man, let me stop, man. I'm going on a tangent. Rob, you know what I'm talking about. People want you to fix the computers for free. You know what it is. My brother Rob, he got a computer business, man. I tried that for a minute because I used to be in IT, fam, in a past life. Then I realized I was in computers because I needed to support my family. I didn't love computers like that. Some people come home, they do all day building computers, working on computers and networks, and then come home and build one at home. Not me. And that's when I realized, so when I had the opportunity to say, I'm going to do my own thing, I said, I don't want to do computers. Ain't nothing worse than fix somebody. I fixed this one lady printer. She must have been 86. I fixed her printer. She called me back 3 weeks later. Was like, "What you do to my computer?" I was like, "I worked on I fixed your printer. Remember? Yeah, but now my Lotus Notes don't load. Lotus Notes. I mean, my AOL don't load." I said, "Well, I was working on your printer, man." Well, I'm upset because since you worked on it, things are different. I updated the drivers. You got to do that. Oh, since you touched it. No, see, I worked on the printer, man. I didn't touch your email. But then I got a message from somebody. I was like, man, look, I'm going to come by and give you back your funky $50. Leave me alone, please. Never call me. Look, here you go. Never lose my number. Never call me again, okay? Oh, don't be that way. Keep 5 for your gas. And that's when I decided I ain't feel like doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ready, man? Let me go, man. Let's go. Damn it. Next story. People cutting it off. All Tim Black with the stories. Yeah. This ain't Don Lemon's show. That's why he got canceled. This ain't Joy Reid's show. That's why she got canceled. Hello. Let's go. Damn it. I've destroyed it. Next story
Next
is WNBA.
On deck with Tim Black.
Okay, so the WNBA. The WNBA is pissed off, man. WNBA is upset the players are threatening a strike due to the lack of pay that they received from the WNBA organization. They say they're grossly underpaid, that what they help generate in revenue does not reflect in their salaries, and they have a problem about it. Here they are wearing shorts expressing their grievance.
Let's welcome the night official. Making her second all-star officiating, reaching the
Shirts say, pay us what you owe us. Pay us what you owe us. And, it's caused a lot of controversy, man. And one thing I do not like about this story is the anger, I should say the vitriol of many people. It's bad, fam. The vitriol of people is something else, man. They are taking it to extremes, to the extreme to show that these women. Let me get back on the screen. It's become very bad, right? It's been this way every time the WNBA has any type of criticism. The NBA players, once the NWA, when the WNBA players make any types of anything, it's like a lightning rod for criticism. People come out the rafters criticizing these people. All industries, pretty much, all people that work for a living complain about salary. It's not just them. Your mailman is probably pissed off right now. People that dump your garbage are probably pissed off. Everybody who does any type of job that gets a paycheck are typically upset about pay. It's always going to be that. But I wanted to show people a little bit as we go through some of the differences, right? And I don't know why they're making this happen. This is the fact that I have to do this. Let me show you. Let me get off the screen. Get me off the screen. How's this? Okay, so let's talk about the basketball pay gap between the WNBA and the NBA, folks, because it's very significant, okay? So the max salary of the WNBA is $252. If you see on the NBA side, I hope you can see that clearly, $55 million. The average salary of the NBA player is $9 million. Average salary of a WNBA player, $100,000. Minimum salary, $66,000. Minimum salary of an NBA player, $1.1 million. Team salary, $1.5 million. For the WNBA, team salary for the team, or for an NBA team, salary cap, $140 million. As you can see, based on this, we got players in the NBA. Damn, we got players in the NBA making more money than the entire teams in the NBA and the WNBA. So here we go. This might be a better picture to show you the disparity here. When you look at it this way, kind of elucidates it. Yeah, that's my word now. Elucidate. Kind of clears all confusion. Shines the light on it, don't it? It illuminates. Yeah. You get basically the minimum salary of the average NBA player. You can pay everybody in the WNBA. It looked like you could pay everybody in the WNBA off one player's average salary in the NBA. It's hard to say that that's fair. And last but not least, let me get off the screen. I'm blocking some stuff. Oh, damn. Off the screen, Tim. NBA players earn approximately 94 times more than WNBA players on average. The NBA salary cap, 93 times more. NBA minimum versus WNBA minimum is 18 times more. And the highest NBA versus the highest WNBA is 221 times more, folks. I'm trying to tell you, Sam, we have a problem. Or do we? Do we really have a problem? I don't think we got a problem, fam. What we have, and I'm being as charitable as possible, man, because look, man, I understand it, man. Like I said, we got disgruntled employees all across the country, Amazon workers, and teachers, for instance. All types of people are underpaid in our culture. It's what happens. But the difference is NBA is an entertainment. They're generating this money through the advertising revenue that they're able to make. Okay? These types of debates, this type of protest, this type of stunt, I don't know what you call it. In my opinion, all it does is erode goodwill for the team, or for the league. What I mean by that is this.
We get a very tiny percentage of all the money that's made through the WNBA, which obviously is through our entertainment, well, the entertainment we provide. And so we want a fair and reasonable percentage of that.
Before we get to this, because this is hilarious, I got to say, folks, if it wasn't for the NBA, there would be no WNBA. Not just because, obviously, the WNBA got its name from the NBA, but because the NBA subsidizes the WNBA. And that's just facts. So you can't compare the two and say, we deserve this or we deserve that if you're being subsidized by another organization, technically. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, we are talking about entertainment. At the end of the day, you are playing a game. It's a game. Like I stated, we got Amazon workers, we got teachers that are underpaid. We got essential workers that everybody was clamoring about They kept America running. Everybody wants to talk, oh, these immigrants keep America running, and all the essential workers keep America running. All of them are underpaid. They could all use a raise, right? Who couldn't use a raise? Is anybody going to turn down a raise? More money. More money is universally applauded by any group. I don't care who you are. So, yeah, I understand you want more money, but this is not about merit. This is not about talent, right? It's not about that at all. You could be very talented, but if it's not producing it through the advertising revenue, if the merchandising isn't doing it, if the ticket sales aren't doing it, then what are you asking for a cut for? Of what? It's a $42 million, I think it's like a $42 million deficit every year. It's like they put these games on just to be nice. They put them on to keep goodwill with women, or I don't know what it is. To contribute to society, it feels like. Because it's a failing business. It's a failing business. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to add this. Because that was as mean as I mean. That's being brutally honest with the truth. But this is a side. Let's play devil's advocate. Since when do people care about how much the earnings are? Look, a lot of time in businesses, you want to make less money. Well, at the end of the year, you don't want no taxes. A lot of corporations look to not pay taxes at the end of the year. So that cannot be the only way you look at it. Like, I also look at all the other benefits, because you can have a business that doesn't make money, but you still make money. People are still getting salaries. People still getting hired. It's not just the players. In fact, the players are not even as substantial. I think there are other people within the WNBA who make salaries who don't play. So just as I did, I've seen people on X, for instance, showing clips of people missing baskets, as if that proves anything at all. Everybody misses baskets at times. That's not an indicator of how much money they should make or not make. So yeah, I just want to point out, it's not as cut and dry just because you say, well, the business doesn't make money. Well, hell, how many years did Trump file losses on his tax returns? And he a billionaire. So that's not necessarily right. At the end of the day, you want to put that money right back into business, take very little out to avoid the tax. Right? Just want to put that out there. But at the end of the day, folks, no matter if I play devil's advocate or not, we're still left with the cold, harsh reality. And Shane Gillis said it well. Here at the ESPY's dinner, he was the host. Let me play that clip.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players.
Yeah, that's yeah. The WNBA is a punchline, ladies. Might not be a good time to break out the shirts demanding a raise right now. If I don't get some money, I'm walking out. Your door, madam. Should we get your coat? Your Uber awaits you. You know what? I don't know what it is, fam. It's just something about women's sports. Something about women's sports, man. Certain sports. Now, track and field, anything Olympic, bam. Like Olympics. In fact, I would say women may be more popular when it comes to Olympics than men, as far as individual athletes. And I remember Carl Lewis. I remember the dude with the shoes that was on fire. But I remember several women in gymnastics and other sports, that come to mind. But it's something about the basketball. Just, like I remember soccer kind of grabbed the amazement, you know what I'm saying? Sort of had the whole country for a minute there. But that was the World Cup, right? The U.S. Women's soccer team. A couple years back, man, they were the talk of the town, man. But I don't know, it's something about it just hasn't. And all I can say, if I had to guess, I would say just because men are so amazing at that sport. It's such a drop-off in the athleticism, but the visual of somebody. Shaq used to break backboards. Ain't nobody breaking backboards in the WNBA. And I don't know, man. It's just something that's totally different. I can't put my finger on it exactly. And don't get it twisted. I'm a girl dad. I'm a boy dad too. You know what I'm saying? I have both. I love my kids, and I support my grandbaby. She runs track right now, and I support her, man. But it's something about basketball. I guess as a parent, how you feel and how the market feels, and if you're a player, how you feel, how you play, and what the market is saying is a different thing. I hope that's changing. Maybe the WNBA is just a little early. You know what I'm saying? Give this latest iteration of the WNBA an opportunity to do what it do and lay in the cut for a year. And I know that's easy for me to say because you could get injured tomorrow. I understand that. I don't think you got a choice. I'm going to leave it there, fam. Let me know what y'all think. Does the WNBA, do the WNBA players have a leg to stand on when they complain about pay? Or is it just we a bunch of chauvinist jackasses, And St. Gillis' joke is funny, but that's because it's true. Most people can't name who plays. I mean, you could name, a few people. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Leslie Jones. Ain't Leslie Jones a comedian? Dominique Dawes. Kelsey Grammer. Man, I'm just... Next. Man, I'm in trouble, man. I'm in trouble, man. Comments? Damn. Man, my people, man. My people are hard, man. My people don't pull no punches, man. This is why I'm the way I am. I'm around these people. They make me like this, man. It ain't just me. I got an audience of people that just like it, like straight up, like bam. My girl said, Anna said the WNBA is a hookup spot for women who date women. Man, you can't. It's mean, but it's true. I mean, it feels true. Don't it? Don't it? Harry C says subscribe. You can say a bunch of B's and be right every time. Sherry said, is she lying? No. No. Look, I don't know, man. For real. Look, I don't know, man. Look, you got to tell me, like, I don't know. I always felt they was like, I always felt that those types of, how can I say this? I always thought they was like soft dudes. It's like the guys, because there's always guys that don't have any rap, right? And all they be like is, I buy you everything. Girl, I pay all your bills. I got money and I spend it on you because you are so beautiful. I'll buy you everything. And that was like the whole, it seemed like their entire game, their whole rap to women was what they gonna do for them. You know what I'm saying? And lame dudes do the same thing. It's like, I thought it was interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? This is what, and like my experience obviously is limited. That's not everybody, but it's just been my experience, what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. Simp Lane, that's it. That's it. You know? There you go. So there's a good point, Gary. Check this out, Gary. That's how I had to look at life. Look, man, I think that I should make what Joe Budden makes. But until, you know how many people be in Joe Budden's Patreon? Joe Budden got more Patreon members than I got subscribers. So Joe Budden make $1 million a month just on Patreon. And I may feel like I should make more money. I do a show. My show is meaningful. My show stands up for the people. My show has an impact. I've interviewed presidential candidates, congresspeople, inventors, directors, actors, comedians. And the universe be like, so, you don't have no membership? You can't put in 20,000 people on a live stream? So, you need to sit down and get your weight up, Mr. Black. And that, look, it's what it is. You can argue. You can get mad. I can get upset. I can get angry. I can wear a shirt. Pay me what you owe you. And people be like, I am. Nothing. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's because you're in the entertainment business. It's in the eye of the beholder. It's all relative. Your values based on what the individual thinks. And how many of them individuals you could put into an arena or into a demographic that you could attract so ads can run in front of them. Or they could buy tickets to the show. So, yeah. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, other two people I don't know, players I don't know. Talk too loud, your pay may go down. I didn't know you was making 120,000. That should be 96. I knew I shouldn't have worn that shirt. All right, y'all. Next, let's keep it going, y'all. That's right. You start talking. You done popped up on the radar. What you doing making 120,000? You're supposed to be making 96. Next. Let's move it on, fam. At first, I thought that was that horrible press secretary for Biden. That's what I thought they did. That's what I thought it was.
Full-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody.
It looked like it, don't it? But this not.
I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players.
Next on deck.
You have this person.
Okay, so this clip ran around, came across my timeline. Brother commented on it. He made some tactical errors in his commentary. I thought I'd take a stab at it. Let's have a conversation, fam. Tyler Perry and some of the other brothers are going to talk about being a boss in family. Let's get it.
Building their legacy, a person that has built their legacy, and a person that has superseded
That part.
What do we understand as legacy? And I think that there's so many levels and layers to the conversation. And, you know, for you to be at the stage that you are and get a chance to sit across from this and to be able to glean those nuggets, or the fact that you have been able to sustain in a career where we know that the shelf life is not long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
2 years, 3 years.
My question is that how do you deal also with this issue of bossology and family? It's because I think that the struggle that I've always trying to see is that how do you keep at bay everyone that was there from the beginning that watched you struggle and suffer, but then there's this automatic tension of what do I owe? How much do I owe back? Who do I have to bring along? How do I have to let some go? It's like bossology and family. How do y'all struggle with that tension?
I fired my aunt.
Right. I feel it.
I fired my aunt. She said she wanted a job. She would always call, asking for money. I'm like, okay, I was sending the money. I was like, listen, I want to help you. I don't want to help you build this thing, not be welfare to you. So let me give you a job. She wasn't coming in, calling in all the time. I was like, okay, well, you got to go. Because you want me to hand you the money, but you don't want to work for it. See, that doesn't work for me. And it's the same way with my son. Like, he's 10 years old. Like, there's certain things that he wants. He has to do chores and work for it.
That's right.
I don't believe in giving us things that are just going to handicap us. That is the worst thing you can do. And I've had family members that I've done that to because my mother has asked me to. And when she passed away in 2009, I sent all of them letters saying, listen, you got 60 days to become gainfully employed because I'm not going to keep supporting you like this.
Are you serious?
100%. They all got jobs. Yep. And it wasn't even jobs where they're making a lot of money, but it was a job. It was something else for them to do, to feel some pride in.
Right.
That's the same thing I would want somebody to do for me.
But do you still get like the backsplash from that? You know how you said they wasn't making a lot of money. Then
He just said that's the same thing I would want them to do for me. If it was me, I want them to do the same thing. Fire me and tell me to get a job. Some of y'all watching don't be keeping it real. Let's keep going. Let's finish up.
they can look at you and say, well, why I can't have more? Why am I working next to somebody to make more than me?
I have a family member that got mad at me because I wouldn't give them $1 million.
Wow.
You know, and I asked Jay this question because I'm actually going through that right now.
Wow.
You know, when you start getting success, people start pulling on you. I just turned 38 today. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, okay. Happy birthday, Ken.
And I'm gonna be able to talk about this for the rest of my days.
For the rest of your life.
I'm sitting here with legends on my birthday.
But here's the focus.
Okay, so it goes on, man. It's an interesting conversation. Young man has a restaurateur who opened up here, who started like in a gas station or something and ended up building that out to a franchise and making lots of money at a very young age. Started at 26 and now he's like 38 or something. Very interesting, but the crux of the conversation, the argument about, has erupted around Tyler Perry. But before I get to Tyler Perry, can I comment on Kirk Franklin? Bossology is you managing your boss. How you navigate managing your boss and get your boss to get out your way so you can do your job type of thing. Look it up. I know what you mean, but since words kind of matter, I just thought I'd throw that out there. You know, bossology is not what you talking about. When you trying to extrapolate, you TI'd your words. Thought I'd point that out. But let's get real super serious on this, man. Tyler Perry's statement that he fired his aunt. She wanted money. She wasn't living up to the arrangement. He was giving her money, then he stopped giving her money and told her, you're going to have to earn the money, and I'm going to give you money, but you got to earn it, you got to work for it. And then she wasn't working for it. I got a couple things about that must be said. Right? And it's not that I want to come down hard on Tyler Perry. It's just, this is the problem with Tyler Perry. And I know he's making a lot of money. And I know that. And he's done a lot of great things, nice things for people, hook people up all the time. Tyler Perry does not have the systems in place, I don't feel. And based on his track record, based on the fallouts that he's had publicly, folks, he don't have the systems in place that a smart business person would have, that you traditionally would have Tyler Perry, did he go to any classes, take any classes at all for running a business himself? I've worked in private industry for corporations, Fortune 150, Fortune 50, that's businesses, top 50 businesses in the country. I worked for a couple really big companies. And I work for some smaller companies. And I work for some startups, notable startups in their industry. So I know you got to have mechanisms in place, like HR, like training for employees. I got a feeling that Tyler Perry said show up and do that, but the person didn't know what they needed to do. Because Tyler Perry doesn't have the traditional structure that you have in a business to bring people along. And to my point, I had some information I pulled up about Tyler Perry. Right? Because he's had issues because he doesn't have that. Case in point, the fact that he got a lawsuit right now over an employee that he was dealing with in a romantic way. Not knowing that there's boundaries, not operating as a professional, these things matter. Now, if you want to talk about, we want to talk about how family members try to get money out of you or they want your help, yada, yada, yada. What else? Like that's a natural thing. You know, I have not had that experience. I cannot comment on what he's going through personally because every family's different. My family never asked me for anything. I sent them a couple mugs. Everybody was happy. Mugs, couple t-shirts out. My people, cool. I've extended the opportunity to my nieces. Hey, you know, if you want to work with me or do something, if you're trying to do something on social, whatever, I'm glad to help you out. You are family. But they all got things going on. They're in college and graduating college. They all have lives. They are already doing their thing. None of them are waiting on the Tim Black show. They be waiting a long time. They would be broke as hell waiting. So I don't have a duplicate experience in order to really trash Tyler, really, come down on him on that, other than to say, yeah, you never know. Like if you got your family members some family members may or may not be as industrious as others. Now asking anybody for $1 million is crazy. Did they ask for $1 million or were they trying to put together a business and wanted you to invest $1 million? See, we got to think about how the words are being used. Did they say, give me $1 million? And he was like, nah. They was like, I hate you. How you not going to give me $1 million? Or did they have a dream and a plan and to your liking it wasn't feasible or didn't meet criteria and you refused to give it and then they're upset? That's what I think. I saw some people commenting on this as if people just ask, give me $1 million. I mean, that person needs psychiatric help. No, nobody got so much money you can just go up and ask them for $1 million. How are you going to explain that on your taxes? Now, an investment's one thing. But is it feasible? So all these things came up, man. But I want to point out, because someone said something. They said, Tim Black, why are y'all criticizing Tyler Perry? Why are you going there, Tyler Perry? Black people got this thing where they be super critical about successful people. And I'm like, hold on, cuz. Everyone gets criticized. You don't think Latinos don't criticize Latinos? White people don't criticize white people? Asians or Japanese, they don't criticize, you don't think so? Hell, I think Jewish people are probably more critical of Jewish people than black people are critical of black people. We know what we've been up against. And I think white people are even more critical of other white people. I look at it the other way, because they don't get to say they had 400 years of this and 100 years of Jim Crow and Jane Crow and man, they don't have all those other issues to point at. So yeah, I think your logic is kind of flawed, or maybe you're looking for a certain response from a certain demographic when you make these types of comments. think it's the latter, but I give you the benefit of the doubt, my brother. I'm not so sure Tyler Perry has been a good steward of what he's got going on. That's his own business. That's on him. But when you're in the public eye, who's in the public eye more than somebody who makes movies and content for people to look at? That person is directly in the public eye. He owes everything to the public. He ain't an inventor sitting back making a newfangled elevator or staircase. He actually makes content that he puts himself in. And we got you cornballs going, why are you criticizing him? You're overly critical. He in his own content. He makes content with him to star. Obviously, he don't have a problem with being in the public eye, or he wouldn't be in the public eye. He is in the public eye. He's still putting himself in all his movies. So, once again, I'm not sure if you truly are analyzing the situation or just trying to appeal to a certain demographic because it don't make sense. Like Puffy, what Suge say about Puffy back in the day? If y'all want to come to a label where the producers don't be all up in the videos, don't be all trying to take the limelight, come on over to Death Row. I rest my case on that. Tyler Perry has faced several allegations regarding his treatment of employees and workplace practices at Tyler Perry Studios. These claims, primarily from lawsuits and industry reports, highlight issues ranging from labor disputes to serious accusations of sexual misconduct. So we all know about the current situation, but Derek Dixon, the lawsuit of $260 million, we know about that. But did you know there was another one? That's not the only one. Okay? Braxton Wales. I didn't know about this. The Nova actor claims CBS VP, so someone who works for Tyler Perry Studios, the vice president, Marquis Swinton, drugged and assaulted him and alleges Perry helped cover it up. It's unverified. It's based on social media. No major news confirmation yet. So there's another allegation of similar bad activity in Tyler Perry Studios. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying it's out there. Then there was the Writers Guild strike in 2008 where House of Pain writers Perry allegedly threatened to fire them for supporting unions during the 2007-2008 strike. Showrunners Tina Fey, Shonda Rhimes criticized Perry in an open letter. Union deal reached, but writers not rehired. So he reached a deal, but didn't rehire the writers. We know Shonda Rhimes went on to become very successful. Tina Fey, SNL. Actors' equity conflict in 2015, a hostile work environment in 2015, more harassment charges, civil rights lawsuit in 2013. It's a lot of suits. 2015, 2008, 2025. Workplace practices and cultural concerns. He has no HR department. Big red flag. Okay? Not me hating on him, it's just what it is. He doesn't have somebody to handle things, so he gets out the way. And HR is there to protect the business. And when you're a billionaire, you gotta have HR. How you not gonna have HR? You're a billionaire running a business. How you not gonna have an HR department, man? Handling things, keeping you tidily out of things, and also instructing you what not to do to avoid lawsuits. Shit, everybody need an HR who got employees. And if you don't have one, you need to outsource one. Grueling production schedules. Long work days described as punishing. These are things employees say. You want to just big up and look for an opportunity with Tyler Perry? Content creators, are you just looking to get a job with Tyler Perry? I know he's a very powerful man. But you know what I say? No matter how powerful you are, If you don't respect the fact that I got to do my job and I'm going to do my job ethically, I'm not going to smear you, but I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to tell the truth based on what I have, and we can determine, it's allegedly unless it's proven. But what I'm saying is, these are what employees are saying. I'm not here to cape for the billionaire. It is what it is. He has a closed ecosystem. I don't even know what that means. It said maybe they operate in a vacuum. It says TPS jobs rarely lead to work on major projects. So Tyler Perry has his own kingdom, and people that work for Tyler Perry end up continuing to work for Tyler Perry. And if they try to go out and venture out, sometimes things don't work out for them. Yeah, people are upset. They say Tyler Perry's about to use AI and cut his staff. They upset about that. Copyright infringement lawsuits, that's out there. 5 lawsuits using unlicensed songs, and Medea goes to jail. Idea theft for the have and the have-nots in 2014. Settled, it didn't go to trial. Public sentiment. Some people say that Tyler Perry has a pattern of misconduct, cover-ups. Critics argue relationships with employees endanger his empire. Now look, at the end of the day, Tyler Perry very successful. No one can take that from him. No, nobody. I'm not so sure Tyler Perry's personal experience with his family is a doctrine we all should follow. All us business people. I tend to look at it like, if you have a business comes first, obviously, in how you run the business, but that doesn't mean you can't incorporate your family. I've had family members assist me, and I haven't had any bad situations. My situations have dealt with non-family. Yeah, all the knives in my back came from people that weren't related, that weren't in my family. So do with that as you will. As far as people asking for money, I think that anybody who makes a sizable amount of money, who's public like Tyler Perry, very unique space, $1 billion, billionaire, that you're gonna catch it, man. I think he ain't good. What he's going through is very unique to somebody with that much capital, with that much name recognition. The average person probably does not have this type of problem with a modest business. Just my opinion. That's it, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. I'm not saying Tyler Perry's a bad guy. I'm saying his business could do a lot better. And anybody who is negligent enough that they would even compromise themselves or put themselves, my thing is, don't put yourself in that situation. Why would you be dealing with employees when you, Tyler Perry, you could travel the globe? Why you got this guy? An employee. You cut his paycheck. Obviously, you have undue influence over his pocketbook. Guy says Tyler Perry made demands on him. If not, he was going to fire him. And that was his livelihood. For some reason, people act as if that's not a bad thing. Well, you know what? It would be bad if it was your daughter. But since it's a guy, you act like it's nothing. Now, it's something. It's illegal. That's what it is. It ain't even up for debate. That's illegal. All right. That's just my opinion, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment section. Tim Black Wolfpack, man. Let it go, man. Let it fly. Katie Blapp says it's cheap. And a poor leader, maybe? Maybe. Here's a sick man, says Star Fury. He could have given her a fake job that wouldn't even affect him financially. Them folks do it all the time. They do. I know they do. For some reason, some people don't realize that. You give them a job to not hit the tax, to not take the hit on the taxes? Why would you care how often you show up? You're a billionaire. I mean, don't give a $500,000 job. Give her a little job. Something she could do, handing out flyers or something, getting the cars washed, or facilitating getting the cars washed, or I don't know, running the vending machines. I don't know. Give her a little $80,000 job filling up all the vending machines. And she can outsource it to somebody, and she can manage it. Just make sure they do their job. It's ways to do it. And make it look right on the books, and it is right. It's above board. How can I come up with that in 3 seconds and he can't? Can't I just say Tyler Perry petty? I know he's rich. It's okay to call him petty. He probably rich because he's petty. It's probably how he got rich. Maybe that's how he did it. Premium says I get up early for work. Premium, hey, look, thank you, Premium, for even being here, man, this late, fam. I appreciate you. Tulsi Gabbard is a hack. Yeah, we're going to cover that briefly. Okay. Let's keep it moving, fam. I appreciate the feedback on that story, though.
What are you trying to do? Like, what if you're trying? Because
on Shell gas station to be on the top 100.
And you will, in the midst of a scandal.
Now they know business and I can't talk it. It's ignorance because you can't have a business and not actually know how to run a machine. I had to learn profit and loss, EBITDA, COGS, everything. And right now I can sit at the table with anybody and talk about the level of business. Because I'm putting the time in when nobody watching. I'm on my phone, tutorials, I'm teaching myself. And right now, I just got voted to be on the top 100 fast casual list in the country. No black man my age ever touched the list.
Salute.
May 18th, I'm going to go select, get my award. And for me, I'm doing it for everybody.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Tim.
Okay, so one of the trending stories is about Donald Trump and Barack Obama having him spied upon. And some of you may recall this. This is 60 Minutes a few years ago when Trump first pointed out that this was happening. And here was the 60-minute response.
That doesn't just affect Democrats or Republicans. It's not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue with such significant impact that it should concern every American because it has to do with the fabric and integrity of our democratic republic. That we had a situation here where in the months leading up to the 2016 election, the intelligence community assessed, and this is what the documents detail, the intelligence community assessed essentially Russia doesn't have the tools, the capability, or the intent to try to change the outcome of the U.S. presidential election. Donald Trump pulls off a historic victory against Hillary Clinton in November of 2016. Even in the days after that election, the intelligence community continued their consistent assessment that reflected the same thing in the months leading up to the election. All of a sudden, in the early days of December, there was a president's daily brief that was drafted. This is put together by the different elements of the intelligence community that reflected that same assessment. Russia did not try to hack the election, in essence. That PDB, that document, was pulled hours before it was supposed to be published for the president to see that following morning. That document was never published until we released it yesterday. One day later, President Obama calls a meeting of his National Security Council, his top officials, to be held on what they called a sensitive topic. And the results of that meeting, which we released yesterday, and these over 100 documents that talk about in detail how President Obama and his team, he directed a manufactured piece of intelligence that detailed not if, but how Russia tried to influence the outcome.
And whether or not there's fire, we need to figure it out. But here is what's important. Put the investigation into Trump, his associates, and everybody else to one side. There is no denying that the Russians interfered in the election.
Right.
Whether or not they had willing or unwitting help from the Trump team, they interfered, and they did so to help him and hurt me, and they did so to destabilize our democracy, and they have not stopped. I mean, there's been enough public testimony before Congress now by very distinguished, experienced intelligence professionals who all say the same thing. This is a clear and present danger to our country.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, and I would say this. If the roles were reversed, if I had won the Electoral College and I were in the White House and the intelligence services, I've served with them, I've worked with them, I've read their analysis, both on the Senate Armed Services Committee and as Secretary of State. You know, they don't always get it right, but these are patriotic, hardworking, dedicated men and women. And if they had come to me and told me, you know, we believe that this election was interfered with, we believe that it was influenced, and we believe they are still trying to get into our systems, I would have stopped at nothing. I would have stood up and in front of the country said, even if it advantaged me, I am not going to rest until we know exactly what happened and make sure.
You saw with the report that Tulsi put out, I mean, we're talking about there needs to be criminal prosecution and arrest, you know, lying under oath, putting out a false intelligence report. That's a violation of 18 U.S. Code 1001 that comes with a 7-year prison sentence and up to $250,000 fine. But we're talking about something more nefarious than this. I think that this is a perfect example and reason why there needs to be FISA reform as well. As you know, Maria, that false intelligence report resulted in FISA courts issuing a warrant to illegally surveillance the president of the United States now. And what I can tell you is if we don't stop this, if we don't actually say this will not be tolerated, this is not a Democrat or Republican thing. This is about the health and the sanctity of a constitutional republic. And so there needs to be arrests. This is not partisan. This is simply illegal what they did. And we're
just followed and towed the company line. And then you have the deep careers in the intelligence community. Did not
Was able to convince so many people of this lie when they had no evidence whatsoever of it.
Well, they got away with it because once they leaked these false narratives and false reports, you had big media organizations who just went lock, stock, and barrel, did not fact check, did not go and do the extra work, did not do any due diligence whatsoever. They just followed and towed the company line. And then you have the deep careers in the intelligence community who either they were afraid of being fired or having their clearances revoked, or B, were so concerned about a Donald Trump presidency that they felt it was okay to concoct false information into the American people, into the body politic. So Anna is completely correct. There need to be arrests on this matter. People need to go to jail on this because this is about the republic. This is not about one president.
Next.
All right, now, so my take on this is going to be a little bit different, I think. I have no grounds to say that this is inaccurate. In fact, I was saying back at the time when they were first making the claims of Russian interference, that it seemed like a bunch of bogus falsehoods were being spread. It was like they came up with it when they started they were going to lose the election. That's when all of a sudden they said, well, Russia, Russia, Russia. So that was a way for the Democrats to shift blame from a losing campaign to Hillary Clinton. And the whole thing about spying on Trump, yeah, that happened. So, yeah, I don't know what you do about it. I don't know what's the case to make other than we got such corrupt political mess going on, and it has gone on all this time. I don't know if this is going to change anything. I'm all for those who broke the law being held accountable the same way they would be for us. The same way they would be for us. And if you use a fabricated report, if Obama said, go out and make me a report, that's the commander-in-chief telling you to do that. Very few people are not going to take the guidance or directive from the commander-in-chief. And if that's the case, man, that's horrible stuff. But many of us who are critical, are willing to be critical of our government, We knew this. If you've been around, you knew this. If you covered this stuff, you knew something was going on with this. Even the reports, even though the reports are shady as hell, you can see through the reports if you took 2 seconds. I mean, folks, once you got to the bottom of it, they were saying that Facebook ads, the credible evidence that there was tampering by Russia was about 100,000 worth of Facebook ads. And you really think that throws in a U.S. election that's multi-different election polls across so many states? Facebook ads, really? I mean, this is what they were floating, and people were buying it because, as Byron stated, they were watching it on cable news and they just believed what they saw. They had people's faces that they're used to agreeing with and respecting and believing, and they were saying it and repeating it. And it was being repeated in all the news agencies, so they believed it. But if you held your right to be suspicious and question everything, if you took the time to read the documents yourself, as we did, as I did, as my partners did back in those times, when you read that that's the evidence they had, really, when it all came down to it, some damn Facebook accounts, I mean, more money was spent. We're talking about Hillary Clinton spending over $1 billion on her campaign, and you're saying $100,000 worth of Facebook ads pummeled her campaign? It didn't even make sense to believe it then. It doesn't. And they used that information, and they said Trump was in on that, was in working with Russia. I mean, it was a horrible smear campaign. All that being said, fam, I find the timing suspect is right at the time when Trump is going through it about a fallout with the big, beautiful bill with Elon Musk and what's the other thing? Trump's sitting on the hot seat kind of now. They're accusing him of different issues, right? And so I realize there's a political motivation behind the Trump administration to put this out now, to kind of tamp down on the whole Epstein file thing. Yeah, that thing's still out there. So I'm looking at the timing. I never dismiss the timing. Never overlook the timing of why something's happening, because that makes sense for it to happen now, right? Diverts attention away from it. And then what's being diverted attention from? All of that. What else is going on that we're not talking about while we talk about this? Because I knew this then. Now they got proof, they say, but this is not new information. But still, it's taking up the news cycle. So all the people in conservative media covering this now is creating a ripple effect across the internet. But this is really not something I feel that needs to be focused on. Because I don't believe this idea that Obama's going to go to jail. He's not. They're not even going to bring charges. It's a distraction. It's the same stuff when they were saying Hillary going to go to jail. She didn't. I don't know if you noticed. And neither did Trump. He didn't. So I think we need to be smart of what we give gravity to, what we give air to, what we, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give a lot of focus to it. I wanted to cover it because I believe it. Because I believe there was a fabricated event. The whole Russia is still in our election stuff was bogus to begin with. All right? But y'all late to the game if you didn't know that. We knew it back in 2016. Because the timing of it was directly related to Hillary losing. So that was the first Scooby snack that you got was the timing was off. Got to be very suspicious of that. So anyway, here it is. So yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all I got on it, man. Russia tried to influence the election. Fake intelligence reports. Big media falling in line. I said this back in 2017, 2016. Don't talk to me about Trump being a threat. Hillary Clinton told them what to print. Hillary Clinton's campaign was given approval to media entities They were like emailing her, like, look, can we write this article? You guys approve of this? And her team were giving the thumbs up or the thumbs down on articles that were written by accredited media entities. I know you don't think that those same media entities contact Trump when they want to write a hit piece, do you? But they would contact Hillary to get approval from her team if this is a good article, or do you want us to add anything or take any, like crazy shit that journalists don't do. That type of stuff was being done for Hillary at every turn. And that's why I say clearly, the more dangerous one is Hillary Clinton, because she had the apparatus. It's one thing to be able to do dirt. It's another thing to control the media. And when all those people out there to scrutinize Trump, and I'm down for scrutinizing Trump, but as I stated, fam, everything that the Democrats blame Republicans for doing, it's stuff they already did or are in the process of doing. Don't be a moron. If you don't believe that's true, you are putting the Democrats on a pedestal. And you don't know anything about the Democratic Party. I stand by it. Anything the Democrats claim the Republicans are doing, they already did it. All right. Comments? The secret meeting with media. Absolutely. Lies, using lies as alibis. McKenton says Epstein. Democrats are nourishing their base, that's why their numbers are low. It was an investment. Are they Romanians? Hey. Perfect. Okay, guys, it's getting late. Let's keep it pushing. Yeah. Let's see what else we got in the line of politics. We haven't done much in politics. Shout out to Megs for giving out memberships. We appreciate you, Megs.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I was Bishop Barber and I were talking. We were texting today, and again, this is the data he presented yesterday. I'm about to mess y'all up. In Georgia, 1,016,000 black people in Georgia did not vote. Trump won by 115,000 votes. In North Carolina, 661,000 black people did not vote. Trump won by 183,000.
Our silence is literally killing us.
Yeah.
Our silence is literally killing us.
661,000 in North Carolina. Yeah. 1,016,000 in Georgia did not vote. Overall, 90 million people didn't vote. 40% of black voters nationwide did not vote. Even with a black woman on the ticket.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
And this is why they didn't vote, Roland. A lot of people didn't vote because of you, Roland. Yeah, you know what? You're not including yourself, sir. You're part of the problem, Roland. Yeah, you, Roland, you're part of the problem. Now, I'm not going to give you all the credit, but you are definitely not a helpful individual on this. These types of claims don't help your argument at all. Particularly your closer. They didn't vote because even with a black woman, Yeah, that's why a lot of people didn't vote, Roland. You kept force-feeding them that this is a black person. You didn't say, not this person with this amazing platform, not this amazing politician who has it, that dazzles and dazzles, that speaks to the pains of the people, this consummate humanitarian that's traveled the black community and done so much, this voice of the people. You didn't say any of that because you can't. Not even you can shovel shit that high. You have your own levels of BS that you will shovel. So you won't ever characterize Kamala Harris as anything other than a black woman. Because that's all you can say. That's all you got. He said 1 million black people didn't vote in Georgia. He then goes on to say 90 million Americans didn't vote. 40% of Americans never vote. We ain't doing that but keeping up with the average. Which is a lot better than we do in most other areas. 3 times more likely to be homeless. We'll be right dead tied with white people for voting. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's really good. I mean, just to fix your face, Johnson, just to fix your face and blame black people for the failures of the Democratic Party, to me, is a betrayal of all things black America. We give our votes 90% to a party that hasn't helped us move an inch in home ownership in 70 years. And I got this person, this sellout, telling us how black people somehow fell down on their job. Jobs pay. We got this woman jumping out the room talking about we hurting ourselves. You have a horrible attitude and you have this backwards man. The Democratic Party is hurting themselves. Democratic Party failed themselves. We don't work for the party. The party works for the people. Republican Party doesn't. The people that vote for the Republicans don't work for the Republicans. People that voted for Trump don't work for him. He spoke to their needs better than you did. Instead of Kamala Harris spending money to get rappers and R&B artists and directors and famous media people to shuck and jive for her like Roland did, she could have spent that money on infrastructure that actually catered to the voter directive that she was looking for, the voter demographic she was trying to court. That's what she could have done. She could have done that. She had $2 billion. She didn't do it. North Carolina, 600,000 black people did not vote. I'll let you know how many black people voted. Whatever that number was too much. Because we still have not taught you a lesson, Roland. You have not learned that we are people that have the authority over ourselves to choose who we vote for. You don't get to choose it, though. That's your job as a hack and as a pusher of the Democratic Party. That's your job. You know what, Roland? Your betrayal is catastrophic. You have a platform in the black community where you could be petitioning the Democratic Party to put together legislation. You could be on the vanguard, the forefront of forcing the Democratic Party to modify their platform in order to sufficiently include black America. But you do the opposite. You use your platform to berate black people to support the party when you should be using your platform to berate the party to support black America. Roland, I don't know when it will be. Maybe it will never happen. But I believe it will. At some point, my numbers will climb, and it will be the direct cause of your betrayal to black America. You're only being propped up now by those entities that will continue, that see a benefit from picking up checks from the Democratic Party. You know, everybody that Roland's interviewed, I've interviewed. I interviewed William Barber. But he'd rather continue to go on the Roland Martin show Because Roland Martin is part of the Democratic machine and Tim Black isn't. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone that Roland has dealt with, I have dealt with, but they no longer deal with me because they're attached to the machine. At the end of the day, if there's any justice in this world, the seesaw will tilt. The seesaw will tilt the other way, sir. Yeah, it's a problem when you got a Roland Martin sitting up here talking about what black people need to do instead of what the company needs to do. Nowhere else does that happen. Nowhere else in any other business, in any other line of work, in any other way is that what happens. In any other walk except black Americans. No other group has this problem. Well, we got these mouthpieces for the establishment coming out condemning a group of people for not voting for them. No, because they know the onus is on the people. But see, when you got a group of people that psychologically have been through so much trauma, some of them feel like, and I hate to say this, man, it bothers me to have to say this, man, but I feel like there's a group of black people that have been traumatized to the extent where being treated badly is the only thing they know. If somehow that's the only thing they respect. And they see themselves through the eyes of their oppressor. And they expect that type of treatment, particularly of other brothers and sisters, other black people. And it's sad. And people like Roland take advantage of it. So does Al Sharpton. Jamal Bryant is doing the same thing, similar things. I noticed this with the old guard. It's time to change. It's time to change the old guard, retire the old guard, and put in some new forwards and move forward. All right, folks, that's all I got on Roland. Let's keep it going. We're crossing the 2.5 hour mark. Shout out to people that stayed for this content. Hit the like button if the content makes sense to you. Here on the Tim Black Show, we do this 5 days a week. Sunday, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays right here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The music starts. So join us by going to jointimblack.com. Become a member of the Tim Black Show. Comments, folks. What say you? Black Rose says the couch won the election. And whose fault is that? Whose fault would that be? According to Roland Martin, that's the people's fault. It's your fault. Public enemy number one. Some call it a vibe-based election. I can see that. The Democratic Party really wants voters to believe the voter's supposed to serve the party or save the party, not that the party's supposed to save people. And it's crazy. Roland and Joyless Reed are trifling bootlicks.
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
Les Brown, PBS Energy. You know what? Les Brown, that brother, man, when I was a kid. Roly Poly is a joke. The FBA is going to bring down a machine. You know what? It might. We might bring it down. You know what? Foundational Black Americans may bring down the Democratic Party machine. At the end of the day, they're the ones trying to bring in the new voters. That's who's doing that. It would only be just. It would only be righteous. It would only be righteous, my brothers. As an FBA, anywhere I turn, I hear people disrespecting us specifically for no reason. We must separate ourselves. And you know what's sad about that? Give it up for that brother, man. You know what's bad about that? The worst thing about that, FBA? Some of those people are FBA or resemble FBA. You know what I'm saying? And they see a gain in it. They see a value in it. They see a gain in doing that. And we just got to punish. We have to publicly condemn it. That's what we do here on the Tim Black Show. We publicly condemn this nonsense. I made it a cornerstone of this program to go in on them. The only reason why somebody like Roland gets to continue is I don't get the support of bigger names to retweet, repost, and share. Because they basically fall in line with Roland, because that's where the money is. That's really what it is, because I'll be breaking Roland down. I'll be just dismantling his claims with logic. But the fact that I don't get an equal, we got him. We have him dead to rights. But if we can't get the awareness, let's face it, Roland Martin has bootlicks in media and in Hollywood, and all it takes is one of them to share, and he's reached 10 times more people than me. And I may have a better message. That message may be more empowering to black people. It will definitely be more beneficial to Black America. But the fact it doesn't get the amplification, that's the only reason why he still has prominence. It's waning, but that's why it's prominent. It's just awareness, man. It's the Tom Joyner Morning Show. All right, guys, let's keep going.
70%.
Jerome Powell. And what's your justification if you're thinking about this to do this?
Too late. He's always been too late, hence his nickname, Too Late. He should have cut interest rates a long time ago. Europe has cut them 10 times in the short period of time, and we cut them none. The only time he cut them was just before the election to try and help Kamala or Biden, whoever the hell it was, because nobody really knew. Obviously, that didn't work, but he tried to cut them for the Democrats, Kamala. And how did that work out? You'll tell me. It didn't work out too well, did it? But he's I think he does a terrible job. He's costing us a lot of money, and we fight through it. It's almost, the country's become so successful that it doesn't have a big impact, but it does hurt people wanting to get a mortgage. People want to buy a house. He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him, but they did. So, no, we're not planning on doing anything. We're very concerned. He's doing a little renovation for $2.5 billion of the Fed, building a renovation, and
we have actually moved back down, although still at an
So all of this is, we have those that claim that Donald Trump is deranged because this long spiel that he went on about the Fed chair, he was talking as if this Fed chair was put in the office by Biden, when in actuality, the Fed chair was put in office by him. So yeah, Donald Trump misspoke. This person here, Mr. Powell, he's the Fed chair.
And then since then, the estimates of where the tariffs will be have actually moved back down, although still at an elevated level. So we're adapting in real time, and what you see is an accumulation of individual assessments.
Okay, so this Fed chair, folks, the Fed chair, Powell is his name. He was appointed in 2017, I think it was, under Trump, right? And Trump can't just fire the guy because it would cause a political upheaval. I think he said something about 8 months from now he'll be able to fire him if he wants to. It may do some destabilization in the markets or what have you. And the Fed chair decides our interest rates. And he wants the Fed to obviously lower the interest rates. He feels that would help the economy. So he's got a bone to pick with the Feds here. But once again, people are saying that since Trump misspoke on names, and I thought I had a document on this. Since he misspoke on names, that Trump is missing, I don't know, he's missing a couple of wall outlets. I don't know. He's missing a couple of spark plugs. Something's going on. Something's wrong. That's what they're saying about him. He needs a jumper cable set or something. Maybe his battery needs to be changed. Criticize it. Now, here's the thing, man. Trump is 70-something years old. I forget how old is Donald Trump. I don't even know how old is Donald Trump? Donald Trump is 79 years old. Okay, so Donald Trump is 79 years old. Yeah, he may forget names at times. Like, this is not, folks, it's very disgusting that we got Democrats now saying that Trump is cognitively declined. Yeah, he's older. Look, I'm not defending that. He is older. He gonna forget names. Hell, I do it occasionally. And he's got, he's got a lot of years on me. So, but people do that. And you may forget who you appointed in 2017 or 2016 or whatever it was. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But yeah, if you want to make it an issue, make it an issue. Who gives a shit? I don't care if you make it an issue. The bottom line is Democrats had Biden in office, and Biden looked like he was on death's door. The guy looked like he couldn't form a sentence. Trump may speak and be incorrect in a sentence. Biden sometimes could not form a sentence. Biden often would stumble about. It looked like he didn't know where he was. It's a difference. Now, you might want to say it looks the same. No, it doesn't. That's your lying eyes telling you that. People were questioning Biden's suitability for office back in 2020. Not only did you ignore it, Democrats, you wanted to reelect him a second term. People were questioning Biden's cognitive ability back in 2020, and then you wanted to give him a second term in 2024. You understand how that's different? He already broke the record as the oldest president, and you wanted to continue with it. Now you're saying, why aren't people talking about Trump? Well, Trump's funny. He can go on and on and on and talk about various things. He does not seem impaired to the degree that is a real problem. And you know what? That ain't just me talking. That's most of America talking. Watching Biden walk was painful. Watching Biden try to get through those debates were disgusting. That a debate was the president of the United States. The whole world saw that. Do you realize that? For you to try to equate the two, just go back. I don't want to play the clip. Maybe if I edit this out and play it, maybe I'll show it to the world again. But you know how embarrassing it was as an American watching your president stumble about in his debate. He only had one. And this is how disingenuous the Democrats are. But I get it, man. I don't expect you to be genuine or ethical. You are the Democrats. I expect you to lie. I expect you to make up stuff. That's what you do best. I expect you to use theatrics. You're really good at theatrics. Republicans not as good as the theatrics. You guys are really good at the theatrics. But at the end of the day, fam, the decision's made. Trump is president. Yeah, if you want to get some views, if you want to get some clicks on your website, fine. Do it. Do it. But it won't change reality. They won, you lost. Biden needs to go sit down and drink milkshakes with a umbrella in them somewhere nice and enjoy his days. And y'all need to go on to try to rebuild your party. That's what needs to happen. Comparing everything now, suddenly now you can determine someone's cognitive ability. For 4 years, you couldn't see nothing wrong with Biden. And now suddenly you're all psychiatrists and MDs, huh? Get the hell out of here. Come on, Johnson. It don't get more wrong. It doesn't get more hypocritical than that. It is what it is. The man fell off a parked bike. I don't know what he was thinking. You got no kickstand on the thing. He needs training wheels. We've been struggling trying to get the training wheels right on our grandbaby's bike. She's 6. Training wheels keep moving. And it's just funny you would bring that up. Yeah, he did that. He fell off a parked bike. And everybody, not because we cared that much about Biden's health, but because nobody wanted Kamala to be president. Next. We're coming to the end of it, folks. Thank you for hanging in there, Ebony. I appreciate you. Buck, I understand if Buck left. I don't know if he did, but I understand.
I think we learned in April, after the March meeting, that
you have what, almost.
So that's what you see. You see the effects of tariffs. I think we learned in April, after the March meeting, that substantially higher tariffs were likely, and then since then, the estimates of where the tariffs will be have actually moved back down, although still at an elevated level. So we're adapting in real time, and what you see is an accumulation of individual assessments.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Just tell me who you think should be deported. Is it just people who've been convicted of crimes? You have, what, almost 1 million undocumented workers in Los Angeles. What should happen to those people?
So let me just say that because we are a city of immigrants, we have entire sectors of our economy that are dependent on immigrant labor. We have to get the fire areas rebuilt. We're not going to get our city rebuilt without immigrant labor. And it's not just the deportation. It's the fear that sets in when raids occur, when people are snatched off the street. And I know you are aware that even people who are here legally, even people who are U.S. citizens have been detained. Immigrants who have their papers and were showing up for their annual immigration appointment were detained when they showed up doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing.
So they should not be deported?
I don't think
they
so.
should stay.
Well, this is what
1 million undocumented?
No, let me just tell you. What I think we need is comprehensive immigration reform. I served in Congress for 12 years.
And didn't get it.
And didn't get it. And why didn't we get it? I mean, after I left, there was an immigration reform bill that had bipartisan support. This was during the campaign. The president decided he didn't want to have it happen because he didn't want immigration reform to happen where he didn't take credit.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Kern Bass is an ass. You know, man, I don't know what to say about LA except LA sucks. Real talk, man. 1 million undocumented workers. Basically, they like their slaves. That's what it is. They like their slaves. And of course, I'm not comparing that to chattel slavery. I'm not comparing that to what black people went through. Maybe I shouldn't call it slaves, but the closest thing to it, they like their indentured servants. How about that? They like their indentured servants. That's what it is. They have rules where the police can't even hold criminals who are undocumented for ICE. So if ICE says, hey, we're coming to pick up some of the criminals you got, they will purposely let them go. That's a rule in LA. And she asked her a very clear question, like, is there anybody you think should be deported? And Karen Bass said, basically, no. On his channel, man, I reported this. The facts of the matter is, this is a full, overblown, exaggerated, bogus story. Folks, 6,000 people have been deported in LA. Yeah, about 6,000. 5,000 to 6,000. Not much more than that. I dare you to find much more than that. Folks, only 160,000 people have been deported, I think it is. What's the total number? In the country. In the country. We have other states, not just LA. Meanwhile, Black Americans make up 34% of the homeless rate, of the homeless people in LA. Still have a problem with that. That's fine. Which means, because we're only 8% of the population, we're 4 times more likely to be homeless. I wonder if there wasn't 1 million undocumented workers, if some of those 38%, 34% of the homeless population might be able to find jobs and housing. I'm just wondering. You think that's possible, Karen Bass? I think it's highly possible. But they love their indentured servants. Those would be U.S. citizens who would want real pay, real money. Not that gang money. Not that monopoly money y'all be paying those undocumented immigrants with. This thing about fear. This thing about fear. Folks, I know what fear is. I live with fear. You live with fear? I live with fear. Every time I go to a movie theater, every time I'm pumping gas, every time a cop, I hear him see him in the rear view. It's the level of it. I don't know if fear would be the right word. It's actually, I mean, spidey senses be on tilt. I be lit. I be paying attention. I be super focused. You understand what I'm saying? I guess I would be more in fear if I was breaking the law, you know? I'd be more in fear, but even though I'm not breaking the law, I still got my spidey senses tingling because you don't have to be breaking the law to be misidentified. When Karen Bass talks about undocumented people, she forgets she has black people around. There are black people, there used to be, a lot of them have been pushed out of Los Angeles by undocumented workers. Been a gentrification, but not just of white Americans, of undocumented Latino workers. When she talks about, Karen Bass talks about comprehensive immigration reform. Yeah, I guess so. It's amazing that they could say that with a straight face, considering the fact that Joe Biden wanted the House to come up with that immigration reform 3.5 years after he left the border wide open. They let in an estimate 10 to 12 million undocumented, unchecked, unverified, unvetted people into our country. Let me repeat that. Let me get this right. Joe Biden let in 10 to 12 million unvetted, undocumented people across our border. And then at the 11:45 p.m., 15 minutes to the bell running till midnight in his presidency, he says, hey, let's pass immigration reform. You know, let's do the right thing. After, folks, remember, 10 and 12, some say 20. I'm not going to go that high. That sounds crazy. 10 sounds crazy. Maybe we should make it 15 like Shannon Sharpe, what they say he had to pay. But let's stick with the 10 to 12 million. After 10 to 12 million people came across the border with Biden not blinking an eye, all of a sudden he gets religion 2 months before the election and tries to hurry up and throw together a package that could save him because he figured he had no chance of being reelected based on the track record up to this point of immigration being so horrible. Only a Democratic operative could sit there, look in the camera, and try to blame Trump for that shit. You should have got that passed back when you had that border wide open. Or maybe if you wouldn't have left the border wide open, then it wouldn't have been such a watershed moment. But the fact you did that. But see, Karen Bass doesn't have a problem with that because she's in a sanctuary city, which is the most sanctuarious of all the sanctuary cities. I will admit, neither party really wants to fix the immigration issue. They got to have something to run on. And they like using immigrants as collateral to do that. But make no mistake about it, we got employers. We have employers on both sides. And them employers actually aren't on either side. They're on the money side. And those employers are donors to both parties. And they all have a vested interest in keeping their indentured servants. Part of the reason why Trump was elected was immigration reform. And if you ask me, he hasn't done enough job. He hasn't done enough. He haven't even come close to Obama numbers in deportations. It is what it is. Folks, we're coming to the home stretch on this one. Let me know what y'all think about the Karen Bass moment, this interview, her sincerity, her policies, or whatever in the comment section. As an advocate for Black America, immigration, I don't feel that if you're an advocate for Black America and you avoid discussing immigration in any way progressive in support of Black Americans and stiffer, if you don't include stiffer immigration policies, if you do not include a secure border, if you don't include deportations, you are not a true advocate for Black America. Now, when it comes to jobs and economics, you may be okay when it comes to gout, diabetes, or cholesterol, or clean water. But when it comes to jobs, no, you are not. When it comes to economics, you are not. Because that is the uncomfortable conversation Democrats do not want to have. All right, folks.
Black.
Adrienne Jones McAllister says her husband, Keith McAllister, died after he was sucked into an MRI machine at Nassau Open MRI in Westbury.
I haven't been able to sleep. I'm barely eating. I just can't believe. I still trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. He waved goodbye to me, and then his whole body went limp.
Adrienne said after she'd had an MRI on her knee Wednesday, she needed help getting up. She said she asked the technician to get her husband.
And I yelled out Keith's name, Keith, come help me up, come help me up.
She said the technician went to get her husband and brought him into the room, despite the fact that Keith was wearing a 20-pound chain around his neck with a large lock that he used for weight training.
They were standing there laughing and joking before he even came to the table.
When Keith got closer to Adrienne to help her up, she said the unthinkable happened.
At that instant, the machine switched him around, pulled him in, and he hit the MRI.
Adrienne says she and the tech tried to pry Keith off the machine, but it was impossible.
I'm saying, could you turn up the machine, call 911, do something, turn this damn thing off?
Adrienne said that this was not the first time she and Keith had been to Nassau Open MRI, and she said he'd worn the big chain here before.
It's not the first time that guy has seen that chain. They had a conversation about it before. Ooh, that's a big chain.
Adrienne said Keith, a hardworking man who always gave his all, suffered several heart attacks following the incident. He was 61 years old.
And I loved him so much.
Reporting
next on.
Man, that's a heartbreaking story, family. All I can say is anybody who's had an MRI done, I had one done, I can tell you, I had to take my wedding ring off. They asked me several times, you got anything else metal, anything else, anything, watch, anything? You can't have anything magnetic on at all. So if, I can't believe they left this guy in the room. How did he get in the room? It's the most basic of basic things. The magnets that are in this machine are horrific. And I don't know how you justify it at all if what she says is true. If they heard her call for him, and I don't know how big the office is, how did he hear it? How did he get in the room? How are you helping somebody up out the MRI machine? Something's not adding up. Because I was told, okay, we're almost done. And then, the process has to end. The machine has to stop. You get out the machine. I don't get it. I'm missing some points here. In my experience, if I recall correctly, the machine was cut off. After I come out, the machine is cut off. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe the magnets still work. I don't know. Maybe the machine doesn't have to be on for the magnet to still work. I really don't know, fam. All I know is I can feel the pain in this woman's voice, and this is a tragic event that did not need to happen. That's all I can say. That's all I can say to her. And I hope that justice is found in this case. Jesus. I saw a video of the strength that which this man was pulled into the MRI. It's like getting hit by a bus, fam. That's how it is. Like it looked like getting hit by a bus. Yeah, multiple heart attacks. Afterwards, he was alive, but he was in such critical condition, he had multiple heart attacks the day after and passed away. All right. I think I have one more story. We'll see what that is.
On deck with Tim Black.
I knew it was a problem, but to watch it up close, right on my own block, right here in Avalon Park, has been it's been wild.
Illinois State Representative Marcus Evans is getting a front row seat to what some are calling a crisis in Illinois. Earlier this week, alleged squatters moved into his next-door neighbor's home. He says the whole block is outraged.
Surprised us all to take over these folks' property. Squatting, it shouldn't be allowed.
The real property owners, Linda Gomez and Rodrigo Leva, say they recently put this house on the market. When they came to check on it this week, they say the locks had been changed and a family they've never seen before moved inside.
They open and say, hey, this is my house. I say, no, excuse me, that's my house.
The couple recorded this video of the alleged squatter. They say the family initially claimed they had bought the house, but when police arrived, they changed their story, claiming they rented the home and signed a lease. Police ultimately said they couldn't remove the people inside and referred the homeowners to the eviction courts. That's the current process under Illinois law, and it can take months.
It's not easy to be, working hard for something, and these people just showing like nothing and break into your house. It's a lot of frustration.
My neighbor, she say, oh, call to Samantha.
It's a story we've been uncovering for months now. Squatting in Illinois, a statewide fight. In May, Illinois lawmakers passed the squatter bill, which would give police the power to remove squatters from someone's property the moment the rightful owner can prove it's theirs. The bill is currently sitting on Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's desk. The bill's co-author, State Representative LaShawn Ford, says it's imperative the governor sign this bill into law.
It's happening all over the state, and so shining a light today to show the governor again
that his action is necessary immediately. I'm going to be calling the governor today, calling the office and asking him to immediately sign this.
Sign it. Just sign it, you know? It's all you got to do, right?
I reached out to the governor's office to find out if they plan on signing the squatter bill, if the governor does, into law. A spokesperson said he has not established a timetable for it yet.
Next.
You know what, guys? I know how easy it will be to just totally agree with this, right? And I do agree with it. But you got to bear in mind, this is what you got to bear in mind, and here's the point. There are these companies, these shell companies that buy up properties. No one ever lives in those properties, and they just take up property. It's empty. And I feel differently about that than I feel about this family here, that they privately own this home and they're trying to sell it. They're not part of a big equity firm that buys up everything. Okay, so I get it I understand why some people would not feel sorry for an equity firm that buys up hundreds of homes. See, and this program did not do a good job of explaining the situation. There are equity firms that buy up hundreds of homes, and then those homes sit unbothered, unfilled, and they just get them to pay their taxes or to get the tax breaks or whatever the hell, right? It's a good investment for their dollar, but they are under no rush at all to do anything with the homes other than just sit on it as a piece of equity. The way I feel about that is totally different than the way I feel about a privately owned home by a family like the brother and sister we just saw, and then have somebody come in and squat in that home. I don't know if they know who owns the property at that point when they choose to squat. But if you're going to squat, go squat at a private equity owned home. Don't do it at my house, because I might not call the cops. I might call 3 or 4 ninjas with a baseball bat. We know how to get you up out of there. Sit on the front steps with a phone if you want to. You be using the phone like this. My hands don't work. You got to go outside sometime. I'm not advocating violence. I'm not advocating violence. Don't do anything violent. Don't do anything to get you locked up. Do anything to hurt anybody. But I'm just saying, use the baseball bat to break the locks. Make them unsafe in your home. I'm just saying, man, like, I just don't remember growing up with this thing, man. I just didn't grow up in the era where you could do nothing like this. Somebody show up at your house and discover your house and say it's their house. Why does that sound so familiar? Sometime in history, I recall a group of people doing it. Oh, yeah, colonizers. And look, man, I wouldn't be Tim Black if I didn't point out I guess I gotta be true to who I am. I gotta point it out, Johnson. Come on now. Damn it.
Illinois law, and it can take.
When I look at this family here, look at this husband and wife, I can't help but think. But obviously they're U.S. citizens, right? Yeah. Squatters. I don't know, man. I can't help but think with undocumented people in this country who come into this country and take up jobs and housing and other resources that the native people of the country cannot have access to. It creates a similar dilemma, don't it? Some people can't understand it when we put it that way, though. They don't understand. They don't get it. They say you don't like people, your phobias or something. No, man, it's just I looked at the numbers. I know what it's doing. But in this case, Even though I feel the way I feel, I will not side against this couple. This couple, that's their home. They want to sell it. Get out if you ain't paying to rent it. Now, I ain't going to be petty. I'm not going to be petty. I will say just know it's a difference when it's an equity firm. Because I don't feel nothing for equity firms, man. We got all types of people living on the street and equity firms buying up all the property. This shit is unfair. You should not be able to own but so much property as an equity firm. But in America, money talks, all the rest is noise. They're the ones clouding. The reason why we got a housing shortage is because of equity firms. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, folks. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Did I hit that one right? Does that make sense? Did I get it right, get it wrong? What am I missing? I know Puerto Ricans that don't speak English. Me no entiendes. Me no entiendes. Right. I just can't believe, man. I just grew up in an era, man, where that just don't happen. I mean, I can't imagine being like 20 and like my uncle or my mom or dad or somebody older being like, we got a problem. Huh? We got squatters in that house. So I was going to leave you. I come see you about fast forward 24 hours. I'd be like, what squatters? Ain't no squatters in that house. I look like a joke to you? I look funny. What's about me so fucking funny? What's so funny about me? No, I didn't say it. You said it. What's so funny about me? I'm just saying, fam. Show me your lease or see my piece. Man, I tell you, man, I'm a reflection of you guys.
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
I'm saying, man, I'm a reflection. I'm a reflection of my audience. I got to tell you, man, y'all as bad as me. God bless you. Don't ever change. Quentin Simon says, accurate. You got it right. Yeah, for sure, people. You got it. All right, fam. Look, man, I want to appreciate everybody who tuned in for Sizzling Sunday Scoop right here on the Tim Black Show, man. It's dope having y'all. We will do this again tomorrow. Yes, we back at it tomorrow, fam. I would try to be a little bit early, but the music starts at 10:30. I try to start the show before 11. But I had to find these clips, man. I think our content tonight is exceptional. I feel good. I can stand behind it. I know I'm running late sometimes, but I'd be like, the content lasts forever, and I got to make sure I can put my name on it. So I got to find content that meets our approval. All right, family. Thank you once again. Go join us. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack by going to jointimblack.com. Also, don't forget you can get your Tim Black mug, Tim Black Show mug. Politics for the people. Not politics for the Republicans. Not politics for Democrats. Politics for the people. Go to timblackmug.com. I got number love for you. Shout out to my recent new Patreon members and recent new merch purchasers. Number love for you. Thank you. If you want Tim Black merch, go to timblackpauls.com. Timblackpauls.com. That's it, man. Peace. Like I always say, don't let nobody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. What you look like letting somebody take your cornbread, Johnson? Where they do that at? What's next? You know somebody squat in your house? Yeah. And as always, fam, I gotta ask, where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.